on a serious note, you know, when the crisis subsides, will we go back to normal? And I know we've had various discussions on the panel of what is the new normal. Will we even want to? Or does COVID-19 provide us with an important learning experience? You know, our response to this pandemic will have an enormous effect on the future of human mankind. More than anything, I suppose, the coronavirus has highlighted existing political, economic, and social dysfunctionalities. You know, it's also shown the crisis of leadership. It's an invitation to make radical changes to the economy, you know, our social behavior and the role of government in our lives. You know, crises do not necessarily only bring the forces of regression, paranoia to the fore. They can also create a greater solidarity, as we have seen many times over, that when people unite, miracles can happen. And we've seen it across the globe. People have united, they've come together. You know, we're now on the cusp of many critical decisions. The pandemic should encourage us to reflect on the power of our collective will, you know, despite the enormous number of jobs lost. Could the pandemic now be an opportunity to direct our energies to other kind of activities? What parts of the economy would we like to restore? And again, it's a subject that we've touched on the panel. And what parts could we do without? You know, given the increasing concern about our planet and the disastrous effects of global warming, do we actually really need all this commuting? And then from an evolutionary point of view, health comes from community. And we have seen human life actually doesn't thrive in isolation. You know, being part of a community is important for our mental health. As it is, we are already living in much more distant ways than has ever been the case. Again, you know, my question, should we continue on this path? The pandemic could give us an opportunity to restore lost connections and create more, I'd say, the word that I'm thinking of is interrelated, cooperative societies. You know, the present pandemic could spur us to tackle issues that we have always been quite aware of, but actually we've ignored them. You know, it could be our chance to do something about the rise of dysfunctional leaders, to decrease socio inequities, to really fight addictions, and to make measures to avert ecological collapse. You know, and first, we need to accept the reality of living in an interconnected world. We must, and I can't stress this enough, we must develop a more global outlook, one in which we think globally, but actually we act locally. And above all, the coronavirus crisis opens up the doors for us to create more compassionate societies, the kind of societies that acknowledge how we are actually all connected and that our planet should be managed for the generations to come. And it's interesting, actually, I'm going to end on this note. If you think about it, humankind has not woven the web of life. We're all one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect.